Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you guys are embracing the New Year, had a wonderful holiday, Christmas and New Year's, that you're all safe and had a great time, filled with love and passion and joy. And I just wanted to just leave an awesome message here for 2015 for everyone who's following me across the world, and just everyone on Facebook, everyone on Twitter, Instagram, everyone. I just want to thank you so much for the support for 2014. You guys have tremendously helped people all across the world and helped me help people in the process, and I just can't thank you so much. So here's to a good 2015 for all of us. This is going to be an amazing year. We're going to plan new strategies. We're going to develop new techniques. We're going to step outside of our comfort zone. We're going to change. We're going to let go of frustrations. We're going to live a supercharged life every single day. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. There's 3 things that makes a difference of somebody achieving their goals and somebody just going through the motions day in and day out. And I've spoken to thousands and thousands of people all across the world, and I had to be an idiot if not to know the differences of what gets people motivated and what gets people on track and fulfilling their goals and staying on track, consistently bringing out their peak performance day in and day out, compared to somebody who's struggling all the time, that starts something and then falls off, or tries to make a change but then always reverts back and slips back. There are 3 main things, and I mean there's a lot more, but there's 3 key main things that I really want to leave with you guys without overloading everyone. And number 1 is we're all living in this we're all chained up in a box, and think of it as the box of limiting beliefs of who we are, what our purpose is, where our goals are, and where we're going in life. Think about this. If you're trying to get to a destination like across in California, you're going to plan your route. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to go take this plane, I got to go from this airport to that airport, then take this car, get to my destination. This is all the steps I need to go. The same thing with life. If we have limiting beliefs about who we are and what we're about and why we're created, then are we going to step up into our calling? Are we going to step up into our dreams and our goals? Are we going to take a chance on and risk things that we normally wouldn't risk? If we don't understand who we are, if we don't have this roadmap of who we are and have a belief of what we're here for and why we're called and what our purpose is. So that roadmap of who we are and identifying all of these key things about ourselves is part of identifying the roadmap to the journey to ultimately get to where you want to be basically. So if you want to be more financially independent, obviously you're going to save more, obviously you're going to work more, obviously you're going to, plan different things, spend money here, not spend money there, so you can save, so you can have some money in the future, so you can be financially independent. If you want to be physically fit, you're going to plan your workouts every day, you're going to have target goals, you're going to be tracking your progress. Same thing with your financial success. You're going to be tracking your progress in finances, you're going to be monitoring it, you're going to always be looking at it and readjusting your strategies. Same thing if you were traveling from New York to California. There's different strategies, different routes you could take, and you're going to pick the best one that's for you. So number 1 is these limiting beliefs, this cage that we live in. And all these things come in different factors like I just explained. And if we don't get a handle on this cage, we will never break free of who we are. We'll never break free of the stereotypes of what society gives us. We'll never feel like we can go and do things without anyone telling us that we can go and do these things. We will never go and take a chance without getting all of this reaffirmation that, yeah, we're doing the right thing. And these things really keep us together and bind us up and keep us in this locked cage. And the trick is to break free from these things. And what happens is it comes in the form of anger. So how do you know? You know because you're angry and you're like, oh, well, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my condition. You're right, I don't know it. But I do know that you're angry, and I do know that these things, when you look at the world, don't apply to you. And that's absolutely false. The world and the things that you are going through, yes, you are going through them, but you have to make a conscious decision and choice to not live according to your circumstances, but live above your circumstances. For example, if I decided that my legs were going to be the limiting beliefs of what I can do and what I cannot do you think I'd be doing what I'm doing? You think I'd be running? You think I'd be swimming? You think I'd be biking or hiking up mountains or skydiving or mountain biking or getting into crazy things like riverboarding down grade 5 rapids in New Zealand? No, I wouldn't. But the fact of the matter is that my limiting beliefs are not controlling me. My beliefs are that I could do all things, that there is nothing that's holding me back. So I'm not angry about these things. So that's number 1. Let go of the anger, and that these things don't just apply to you. They do apply to you, but you have to learn to make a choice and let go and move forward in a direction and develop the beliefs and the strategies that you need in order to get yourself to where you want to be. Number 2, we're comfortable. Everybody gets comfortable. Everybody gets comfortable in their comfort zones. And I always ask people, I'm like, how's life going? And you can ask people this all the time. And you probably know it, but you just never thought about it this way. I always ask people, how's life for you? And most of the time people say, oh, life's good. Yeah, but the thing is that life is good, and yes, but there's an itch inside of you that life can be a little bit more better. That life can be a little bit more purposeful and meaningful and have more passion and become more alive. Woo! Windy. It's cold out here. It's like 30 degrees and the wind's blowing, so it's like 20 now. And these things are, these comfort zones that we're in, these things that we have around us that keep us comfortable, actually prevent us from becoming more and striving and challenging ourselves to want more, challenging ourselves to believe in more. So these comfort zones really need to be removed from our life, and how we do that is by challenging ourselves. Because when you challenge yourself, that's when you start to grow, and that's when you start to develop momentum. That's when you realize, man, I have a little bit more, and that you bring out new passions, and you using different talents, you're using more skills, you're developing more skills. So that's what the challenges is for. And number 3, before this camera gets knocked down in the wind, number 3 is living a supercharged life. That's the 3 tricks. A person who's not living a supercharged life and a person who's living a supercharged life, the main difference is that the person who's not is waking up and doing the same things over and over again. They're like, yeah, life is good, life is comfortable, I have everything I want, I got a nice house, I got cars, I got little luxuries here and there. What possibly more can I ever want? But the fact of the matter is that you're not waking up anxious and excited for the day to happen. You're just going through the day. Compared to the person who has a supercharged life, wakes up anxious and ready to embrace the day and ready to hit the day hard with their passions and their goals, and to see what else is out there that they can possibly get into. To feel excited, to feel like they come alive, to feel like they have a smile on their face every single day and they don't even know why they're smiling, because they're just happy. I believe everyone deserves to be happy and to live a supercharged life where they get up every single day and they're excited and they're expectful and they're expecting good things to happen and they're requiring good things to happen and they're challenging themselves to become better every day. Because when you live a supercharged life, you don't accept the comfort zones. You have comforts, but you don't accept it the way it is. You're constantly challenging yourself. And when you challenge yourself, that's when you start growing. That's when you start seeing new talents and abilities. That's when you start developing new skills. And everyone deserves that. Everyone should do that, because that's the essence of life. If you were where you were 5 years ago, and if you're in the same place now, then you're not growing, and then life is stagnant. But when you start stepping out and challenging yourself just a little bit, not talking about taking on a huge monumental like Iron Man like what I did, or taking on developing a film and doing premieres and all this craziness, but just taking a little step and committing just to do something that you normally wouldn't do, which is maybe 1% or one little thing that you do for the day that will get you just a little bit outside of your comfort zone, where you're challenging yourself. And you'll see yourself developing new talents and abilities. You'll see yourself feeling like, wow, there is more to life than where I'm at. So that's the main differences of somebody who fulfills their goals and stays on track to somebody who just starts and stops and then doesn't even want to continue trying. So let me recap again, right? Anger, like these rules don't apply to you. Yes, they do apply to you. You can live above your circumstances. Remember, the legs. If I decided that my legs were my limiting physical abilities, then I would have never done everything that I would have done. So it's the beliefs and our frustration and feeling like we're in a box that we have to break free of that box. That's number one. Break free of your limiting beliefs and what you hold of yourself and the labels that you put on yourself. So that, let go of that frustration, break free of that box and that cage that you're living in. Number two, right? Get out of your comfort zone. Comfort equals just stagnant and just no growth. So comfort is great, but challenge yourself. And number three, living a supercharged life is challenging yourself a little bit more and just taking yourself to another level, just one day at a time. It doesn't have to be something huge, but just little steps. And that's the difference of leading a supercharged life and leading a life that's just stagnant day in and day out, year after year after year. So when you wake up in the morning, you'll live a passion, live a purpose, and that's exactly what people do. Where I've interviews across the world, is exactly what people do. They have the rituals, they have beliefs, and they have techniques and strategies to keep them on track in order to live that supercharged life. And as you start living that supercharged life with passion and purpose and feeling like you're alive every single day, you develop momentum, and then you'll start attracting everything else around you. And you'll see things start happening that you won't even know how they're actually happening, and you'll have all of these great people around you, momentum, and you'll have the resources that you need in order to do it. Because with the supercharged life, you're excited and you're driven, and you're living with drive and purpose every single day, and that creates opportunities. So I hope it served you well. I'm freezing cold right now. I'm gonna run back home, chill out. So live with passion, live with purpose, live free, live amazingly. I'll see you guys out there, and let's make 2015 the best year yet. I love you guys.